Hello and welcome back to Around the World in 80 Dishes, where I take a random country and a random food and attempt to cook it. Today, for random brochettes. Let's go! Alright, nice and simple start. All I'm going to do is set off with the marinade. Just grab your onion, get your skin off, and then chop it up as much as you like. It doesn't need to be finely minced or anything, just because it's going to get blitzed all together with the other stuff. So, cut up half it, do what you like. Same off with the garlic. Just the skin off, peel it off, and then whack it in your bowl. Next up, just your garlic, skin off, stick it in the pan. You don't really need to chop these at all, because it's just going to get blitzed all together in the end anyway. Moving on to your chilli, same again, just ends off in the pan. I ended up cutting it finer than it needs to, just because it's going to get blended anyway. But look how fast I'm going, zoom! No, that's a lie, the footage is sped up. Right, once those bits and bobs are prepped, just all in your bowl, add a tin of tomatoes, your salt, your pepper, anything else you want to add to flavour it. I stuck a little bit of honey in, just really brings out a little bit of sweetness against the spiciness, and tasting good, so a bit of honey's good. And then bam, just splits it all together, just smush it up to a lovely, thick, tasty liquid. All you're going to do is have your meat sat in it for a little bit, so it doesn't need to be watery, but you need to get everything ground down properly. So before you see the final dish at the end, just want to add in a little girlfriend review after it was actually all eaten, which was the best thing that I've cooked for us so far. A lot of pressure for the other dishes. Right, as you can see, it's just got that sort of kind of liquidy, not watery sort of consistency, and that's perfect for, bam, your meat. I just used a couple of sirloins, thought it'd be right. Little tip that I should have thought of whilst I was cutting it is get rid of that fatty vein. Just the way that you end up cooking the meat doesn't either crisp up or melt it off or anything like that, and it just ends up being a chewy texture at the end. So get rid of that. After you put your meat in, just give it all mix up together, and then cover it, stick it in the fridge for anything from an hour to 4 hours. Like I said, hour to 4 hours. It can be overnight if you really want to let it marinate, but just as long as the meat's covered, you really get the flavour through. Now, you just want to get some more onion, pepper, anything else you want really, and just cut it into skewer-sized chunks. Another pre-eating review from the girlfriend. If you're not a confident cook, like I'm not a confident cook, if you think something's going wrong, just remember, it'll probably taste fine. Right, after you've prepped any of the veg that you want added onto your skewers, all you do is put them on your skewers. I should have mentioned it before, just soak them a little bit, just makes it easier to have everything be put onto it. Sorting out side dishes for it, research traditional Rwandan side dishes. Those either like deep fried bananas, but I've gone with some just crispy potatoes. So just cut them up as big as you like it. I just decided to go for little sweet mouth-sized little baby ones. Plus with that surface area, the potato really helps to actually crispen up when you're cooking them. So once they're all cut up, all you need to do, put them in your pan, boiling water, salt, get them up to a bit of a parboil really. You don't want them fully cooked through, you just want a little bit more softness to them. Once they're sorted, pull them out and dry them as best you can. Getting rid of all that excess moisture again will help get a nice crispy texture once you actually get to the cooking side of it. After you've given them a good pat down, you can just leave them wrapped in the tea towel for a little bit longer, just to see if anything else drips out of them. In that time, you can get your pans ready. So you're going to have one for your skewers, one for your potatoes. Fill up one of your pots with vegetable oil, get it up to a kind of small rolling boil before putting batches of potatoes in. Right, here we have a very teachable moment. If you're using skewers, make sure they fit in your pan. And if you try to deep fry potatoes, do it in batches. I tried to do it in batches and they still came out kind of raw, so we'll change the cooking method in a second. Main teaching thing is the skewers though. Wonderful, ignore what I've just said. So get a smaller pan. You can still use the oil that you've just used to cook with after the mistake you've made, but just a hell of a lot less. Put the potatoes in, get the heat up again, salt, pepper, and just give it a stir of that oil. Just make sure everything gets some form of contact with the heat. At this stage as well, you want to add any other seasonings you want for your potatoes, so I'd put a bit of paprika in. Let me just show you this again, because I think she did it far too quickly for you to actually be able to see. I'd like to thank my girlfriend there for all the wonderful contributions of bringing the paprika over to help. What could I do without her in the kitchen? But anyway, any seasonings you put in, just give it all a good mix, get everything nice and covered and flavourful and lovely. You can add more than just one herb or spice as well, just get it to however you want to do it. Once these are mostly cooked, that's when you can start putting your skewers onto the hot pan. Works much better if your pan's already hot. To test it as well, just get a little splash of water, and if the water sizzles over the pan, then it's hot enough. Now, since we're cooking with sirloin, you can obviously cook it as you would a normal steak. If you like it rare, leave it on for obviously less than if you like it well done. I quite like mine fairly rare, so literally only a couple of minutes either side. And at this stage as well, if you've still got loads of the marinade left, which you will do, just give it another glaze over. Obviously it's not going to add as much flavour as when you were actually marinating it properly, but it's still going to add a little bit extra on top of it all. By this point your potatoes should be ready. Obviously leave them on if they're still cooking, but obviously you'll know what a cooked potato tastes like. If not, you're probably in Ireland in the 1840s. At this stage, I'd like to point out another review I got on this meal. My girlfriend said it was the best bit of meat I gave her all weekend. You win some, you lose some, I guess. Right, at this point everything should be about ready, so just get it off the heat and just get ready to serve. I didn't bother doing any more veg with this because I'm not the healthiest person in the world. Got a nice little salad with it, it'd go great. Maybe like a sour cream, something like that, that would work too. As you can see, it's already kind of charred a bit, but I bought a new toy, so allow this gratuitous moment. A bit more than a moment, allow it. have it, Rwandan brochettes. Really, really good, actually. Really nice with that bit of lime on at the end. I don't remember what next week is, but like, subscribe, and I'll see you then. Thanks. Thanks again for watching, folks. Like I say, give it a like, click, give it a subscribe. But remember, I'm new to all of this, so any comments, just let me know. Thanks.